What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about my truck, 2015 F250. Put some power steps on it. I think they came off a 2020 F350, and I got them off a trade. And the whole reason I'm making this video is basically because out of all the research I've done, I haven't seen anybody else do it. I couldn't find anything on it. So basically, I'm just going to go over how I did it, how I wired it up, and how I made them work. Now, obviously, I know this isn't like necessary, but I do see a lot of OEM steps on Marketplace and stuff like that. Like, obviously, you just go buy amp steps, but I did this because I got these in a trade, got them super cheap, and I was just curious if I could make them work. And yeah, since there's nothing on it, I figured why not, you know. I'll dig into a little bit of how I did it, so if somebody else wants to do the same thing, you know, they come across steps, they can do it because it does work. Honestly, it's pretty easy. They line up with the body lines as well pretty good too. Obviously, they don't tuck all the way underneath like the amp steps do. The amp steps, they go all the way up underneath along the bottom of the body line where the pinch is, and you can't even see them. But these, I honestly kind of like how these go right along the bottom of the door. So yeah, let's get into it. So the way I have it wired up is just a regular amp research module for their power steps. It's a Rev 6, I believe. If I can get it to focus. But yeah, I'm honestly not even sure. I'm not even sure what truck this module came off of. Depending on your year, you know, you can find harnesses online for $200, $250. One problem I did run into whenever I first got these steps on the truck was I tried to hardwire them into the harness because I didn't have the OEM plug. I've already got the plastics off to kind of show you what I tried, and it just was not working. Because, so you can see my splices on the harness here. Following Amp's hardwiring diagram on their website for this year truck, I believe it's like a 2008 to a 2016. These are the wires that they tell you to splice into. And these are the wires for each door. So you've got a green, a white, a yellow, and a green and a purple, which I think this one's actually green and purple, yeah. And the problem I was having was the harness that I got from Amp only has a positive and a negative to go to the OBD2 port, and you obviously see I've got 4, one for each door. And so whenever I would hook them both passenger side, driver side, front and rear, they would ground each other out and the steps wouldn't work at all. So then I tried doing some research on a diode kit. I did the whole diode hookup, and I just could not get it to work. They kept grounding each other out, or I could only get the front doors to work and not the rear. No matter what I tried, the front and rear wouldn't work. So talked to Amp on the phone, and that's when they told me about using the OBD2 plug. The issue I had was I called Amp. I didn't really tell them that I had Ford OEM power steps. I just told them that I had a 2015 F250 and that I needed the OBD2 plug for the harness. And the first one, and I'll get you the part number. Kind of hard to see, but anyway, they gave me the wrong part number. So I ordered this one off eBay first, and it did absolutely nothing. Gave them the part number. They ended up telling me that this is actually for a 2017 and up F250. So if anybody has amp steps and they need an OBD2 plug, let me know. I have one willing to get rid of it. Okay, so this is the passenger side motor, and as you could tell, it's brand new. And basically all I didn't even splice into the wires for the motor. All I did was I took the plug off of the amp harness and I pushed it onto the prongs. That's why this is a temporary setup. I'm gonna work on finding the, hang on bud, what?
Mom just hit me again.
You'll be all right. I just took it and pushed it into the prongs on top of the plug, which you could see the positive and the negative terminal in the plug, and I'll go show you on the old motor which prongs they are and how I knew how they worked. All right, so here's the old motor, and this is basically just I just have two alligator clips going into the prongs on the top. Those two right there. Those are your positive and negative. Like I said, I'm working on getting a male connector side. Maybe go to like a junkyard and find a truck that's got them. That way I could plug it in, splice into the other side, and that way I don't have to worry about water and dirt getting into the steps on the truck. So for the lights, again, just use the harness off of the amp module, and I actually had these LEDs laying around, and this one runs to that one runs to that one, and then I've got it going up to the amp harness. So again, super easy. They definitely are super bright, and they turn off as soon as it steps up. So as you can see, this is the front passenger motor mount, and basically it's the same on all four corners. Basically, so this is flat to this. The only thing you're lacking is 1.5 inches from the body to the mount. So all I did was I went and got some channel iron. It's actually stainless steel. I'm not gonna disclose where I got it from. Anyways, it's exactly 1.5 inches, exactly the gap I needed. And then I just went and got hardware for the bolts. These top bolts line up perfectly with the already existing holes for steps. The bottom ones do not. The bottom ones you gotta drill. This bar right here has to be cut because the spacing from the front bracket to the rear bracket is longer on the newer trucks. So all I did was I took this bar off, I mounted each bracket, and then I took this bar and I measured where I needed to cut and where I needed to make my new hole, and mounted it from there to there. And I had to do that to both sides, obviously, but yeah. Like I said, same setup as the passenger side. You have your positive, negative prongs up here. I just have the plug slid onto the top prongs. This is temporary. I know it looks like shit. It's temporary. I'm going to get the female plugs. Here's how I did the mount. That's how I did the mounts. The spacing for the new holes are about 1 inch wider than the existing holes for the brackets that actually do go to the truck. So I just mounted the brackets up on the top holes, the existing top holes, and leveled them out, and then drilled them from the back in. They are very, very sturdy. Anyways. All in all, I think they look great. Let me know what y'all think. Was it worth it? The whole point of me making this video was just to show what I did, how I did it, why I did it. Like I said, I couldn't find anything on it other than people putting amp steps on the truck. And, you know, this is just an alternative route because you have Ford OEM amp, and Rough Country also makes some. But like I said, I got my hands on these for a fraction of the price of they were brand new. So just kind of a fun project for me to see if I can make these work, and it turned out really good. So I'm sure there's other people out there that are probably interested in doing the same thing. So it's definitely doable. Still kind of a work in progress. That's it. I mean, all in all, parts and stuff, I've got probably 700-ish invested into making these work. So yeah, peace.